everybody. So I just got back from seeing the new film Geostorm, and I have to admit this was not a film I was looking forward to. The trailers looked horrible, and I'm typically not a big disaster movie person. I find them very repetitive and actually kind of boring. And so I wasn't really going to see it, but then I got invited to a screening, and I figured, what the heck, why not go and check out Geostorm? And I have to say, it was a mixed bag. It wasn't as awful as I thought it was going to be. I can definitely picture, like, if this is on, like, TNT or TBS or something like that, and you're bored on a Saturday or whatever, like, it's watchable. It's not, like, awful, but, like, it's not something I can recommend. And basically, like, so it's this disaster movie. It starts out, the first part kind of feels almost like you're getting sort of Armageddon, which I don't like. And it's very boring. The first part is a lot of people standing around, staring at screens and talking. And that's one of my biggest complaints with action movies these days, is that there's so little action. There's so many scenes of people standing around, staring at screens. And that to me is very boring for the first third of this movie. So it's pretty boring. I have to say, though, the acting is better than this movie deserves. Pretty much everybody is, like, trying and actually pretty charismatic. And so there's that, I guess, for this film. Abby Cornish is super charming as this sort of girlfriend character. Like, she's the kind of character that would be totally ruined in, like, a Michael Bay movie. And Jim Sturgis, Gerard Butler are actually fine in their roles. Ed Harris is very over the top, but pretty fun. And just all the cast are actually, like, pretty charming and pretty enjoyable. So, but it's very boring for the first third. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. Just a lot of exposition about the storm and about the satellites and about blah, 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 blah. So finally, the things start going. There's this machine that creates the weather, so it stops from having these traumatic events of floods and hurricanes and tornadoes. And so this is really insane. But basically, like, the second part is actually kind of fun because it's like something starts to tamper with the Geostorm machine, and there's going to be this, and so there's these. You do get these scenes of, like, mass destruction, which I do feel sort of tired of, and I don't know. I've just seen so many, from X-Men Apocalypse, Independence Day Resurgence, to Avengers. I mean, I've just seen so many movies where cities are just, like, completely toppled and everything like that, and you just become kind of numb to it. Man of Steel, like, there's so many, and so I don't know. And you just, like, millions of people are killed, but all the movie really cares about is, like, 10 people. And so it's like, oh, I don't really like that. But, like, there's basically, like, the villains that are in charge of, like, putting this plan into action it's so insane and so ridiculous for what they, like, want to accomplish that I actually chuckled and smiled. Like, it was so over the top that you couldn't take it seriously. And, like, there's a bunch of, like, car chases and some funny one-liners. And so, like, that second part I actually kind of had fun with and I enjoyed because it's very silly, very, very silly. And then it gets to a third part where it becomes just a typical meh disaster movie. And again, you're not worried about all of these millions of people that are getting destroyed. You really only care about, Gerard Butler and a few other people. And everybody's, like, cheering because these few people are saved, and you don't care about all these millions of people that are killed. And so, I don't know. That's a lot of times my problem with disaster movies. But it's just kind of meh. I would say the last third. It's just that middle part where it's really focusing on the villains that it does start to, I think, get a little bit fun and ridiculous. And I enjoyed. So, yeah, if you really want to just see something very dopey, very silly, and then I think you could have fun with this. I can't recommend it because, like I said, the first part is very boring. The ending is very blah, and but it had moments of fun. I will say that about it. I think it's going to do very well. And there's not as much of, like, if you're expecting tons of these scenes of the storms, there's not as much as you think going into it. A lot of the action is like compared to like Roland Emmerich films have way more of that destruction. And that can be kind of exhausting for me. But if that's something you like and you're going into this to see like tons of that, it's really just kind of in little batches, kind of spaced out. And a lot of it is sort of more action, like in cars and stuff like that. And like I said, a lot of time characters talking and staring at screens. And so, yeah, I'd give it a C minus. But if you get to see it, let me know what you think of it. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.